All right, y'all, we back with another video. Today we're going to be watching Puffy Tried to F Me. Terrance Howard reveals shocking Diddy meeting and Hollywood's dark secrets. I don't really even know what to say. I honestly think that Terrance Howard is a Looney Tunes. The last time I heard about him, he was talking about, sound, doing crazy, breaking into different dimensions. And I don't really believe much that comes out his mouth at this point in time. But maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe he really onto something, Maybe he on some groundbreaking ish. You know what I mean? But let's not talk down about the guy yet. Let's hear what he has to say. Cause a lot of stuff about Diddy, I'm starting to believe it. You know what I mean? At first, they were talking about Diddy parties, da. I was like, man, I feel like it would have came out. But after all of this, it's like, yeah, nah, Diddy was definitely diddling. He was definitely diddling. Now we about to see what he did to Terrance Howard.
There's a short life in
why do you think
world.
that is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what?
That's facts. I feel like a lot of artists are going through, actors, all this. They go through so much, honestly. It's like, but they rich. You know what I mean? You rich though. Can I feel, how bad can I feel for a millionaire? You know what I mean? But I feel it. Because they be doing drugs, even artists that make music. Sometimes it's you get in a rut and you can't make songs. So now you got to take drugs because you need to make songs. And it's it's a lot of compounding issues that just get stacked on top of each other, on top of, you got Diddy running around diddling people, right? And because of that, now there's even more fear inside the industry. Now you got to go to the Diddy parties in order to get big. So now you take in all types of drugs just to be mentally okay with all that happening. And then you dig a little deeper, Diddy was probably getting diddlered himself. So it's just a never-ending cycle, and I don't know the key. I don't know the way out. I don't know how to fix it. Too much diddling going on, man.
What he had to do in order to get to where he was at. There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose.
I'm not going to lie. Not me bringing just a random subject in here, but Justin Bieber. I think Justin Bieber is losing his mind. I feel like something happened to Justin Bieber and he just can't mentally get over it. Because even Justin Bieber right now, he look like he on drugs. I'm like, bro, you look like you on drugs. Your wife, I don't know how they ended up together. And he's just spiraling. He's just really spiraling. He should have stayed with Selena Gomez. But now Selena Gomez with my dog, who's Selena Gomez with? Benny Blanco. Now Selena Gomez is with Benny Blanco, and she done found her forever man. And now you, as Justin Bieber, you with Hailey Bieber. But yeah, I think Justin, what he's talking about right now, Justin going through that. I think.
Lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it. A man gives it. So when you give up that.
How you going to ask that question? What he's talking about, bro. He's trying to play dumb. You know what he's talking about.
That man card. You don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the...
That's facts. And I'm not... Terrance probably know a lot more than me about the music industry and the movie industry and all that stuff. And like he just said, I never seen someone recover from it. So I'm believing what he's talking about right now. You know, I'm smelling what he's stepping in. You know what I mean? I feel it. Okay.
Actors out there, because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once it go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
Why he making all these faces? I feel like he being like he trying to play like dumb. Like, you know what he's talking about, bruh? He's like, you know, say something, bruh. Come on.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy.
Real bad.
And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
He's spitting a lot of craziness though. He said 1,500 sperm produced per heartbeat. That's a lot. That's a lot of That's crazy. I didn't even know that. I feel like Terrance Howard, I feel like he's not a dummy. I feel like he be knowing some stuff. Like, I be watching him. He's like, yeah, I went to Harvard and all this stuff. I'm like, hey, wait, what? I didn't know. There's a lot of stuff that he knows, but there's a lot of stuff that he be saying where I be like, it sounds like you took some hallucinogens. You know what I mean? But he do be knowing some.
Oh, yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said.
Yo, that's crazy. His assistant said that. Nah. That's what he was like, oh, whoa, what? What you mean by that? Nah. That's nuts.
And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
He's spitting.
I know.
Nah, he is spitting. He is spitting. I feel like he be spitting. He's spitting right now. I feel like that's something where, you know, like he said, even playing roles like that, like he don't even play like that. And truth be told, it's like you could tell that he was raised by, you know, probably a 2-parent household. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to a lot of times. A lot of people, you know, they come from broken homes and they don't understand where lines need to be drawn. And it takes somebody to teach them where lines need to be drawn. And then even to go past that, you know, even like the Diddy situation, it's like people, you know, they don't know where lines need to be crossed. So people start crossing those lines on them. And then they're kind of like, wait, what? And then, like he said, when you start putting your morals over, or you start putting things over your morals, like a movie role or money or anything like that, that's where, you know, you see, and Justin Bieber was a child when he started making music, you feel me? So that comes down to his, you know, his parents. You know, there's a lot of things where too much stuff be sliding that should not be sliding. And from there, it just spirals from there. You feel me?
Idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolute. But listen, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still, you know, I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually, I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe. I've proven what I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now I can go on and do whatever else we need to do. Hi, everyone. My name is Terrance Howard. I'm an actor, but in the field.
You know who you know who he remind me of? Dr. Umar. He remind me of Dr. Umar because they just be saying stuff. Then again, I never watched Dr. Umar, but they be like, look at his hat. Like, what are you wearing, bro? I feel like he's on the same tip. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is a pretty interesting short segment about, you know, Terrance Howard and his thoughts on Hollywood and things that he's kind of seen. I feel like the Diddy situation is about to get a whole lot deeper. No Diddy. Pause. You know what I mean? But anyway, appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that other shit. And I love you. Peace.